Hello, I'm Dana, and I'll be your guide as we explore some of the challenges and secrets of the power of voice.
The Power of Voice is a 6-module training series created to help all of us become more aware of how we can use our professional voices more effectively when working with others. We created the series with 2 overarching goals in mind. First, to increase the quality of life of the people we support, and second, to help all of the staff involved meet their communication goals more effectively. The modules were designed to address specific, frequently observed challenges that make our job of supporting people with disabilities more difficult. The 6 modules of Power of Voice are the power of intention, too loud is too much, the power of quiet, showing up, speaking up, the voice of caring, and the voice of influence. From intention to influence, the power of voice. Each module in the Power of Voice includes a brief introduction read by the facilitator, a video segment, typically a before scene where the actor isn't aware of the power of voice, and an after scene where they use their new voice power, questions for discussion, 2 exercises that give participants an experience of that module's voice power, and a final exercise that helps them plan how they will practice that module's voice quality. The teaching content for each voice power is delivered by the video host Dana, who brings the material to life with examples, research, and guidance.
Let's face it, life is full of challenges. Here's something to think about. Do we absolutely have to take our anger and frustration out on each other? Of course, life is frustrating at times, especially in this messy world filled with other people. There are things we want understood, things we want to change. We want to express ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings, our wishes and desire for change.
In this segment, we visit Will and Brenda, a couple with the best of intentions who are learning to get their needs and expectations met through better communication.
What is this doing here?
What would make it better?
I want him to put his damn things away.
Do you know someone who talks as if you are in another room? You know, very loud is his or her normal voice. Does that make you uncomfortable? Does me. Loud voices can be annoying and aggravating. And frankly, I would just as soon not be in the room.
Jim, come over here and have a seat. You know where to sit.
Okay, I'm coming.
A loud voice can be upsetting and counterproductive. In part 2, we drop in at dinner time as Melody is learning how to tone it down a bit in order to create a more pleasant dinner time and relationship with the residents.
Maybe the first thing on your daily list is a simple one-liner. Make sure every house resident gets to work on time. Easy peasy, right? Wait, I see some head shaking out there. Okay. Let's talk about those times when people aren't falling into line in the way we think they should. We use our voices instinctively when we're frustrated, when we feel like our communication isn't getting through, when we're not being heard or understood.
Roberta, it's time to get ready for work. You're going to make everybody late. Your van will be here in less than a half an hour. Come on, get up. Let's get it together.
It's possible to actually spark resistance with voice tone alone and get the opposite of the cooperation we need. How do we use voice tone to most effectively communicate our intention to support and be helpful? It's time to get up and ready for work. In part 3, we take a look at how an experienced staff person helps that process along in supportive fashion, using her best voice tone, of course.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where it was difficult to speak up, even when you had something important to say? For some of us, that might be when we're talking with someone in management, or when we're in a meeting, maybe when we're talking with someone's family. And there are some folks who just naturally speak so quietly that it's often difficult for people to hear them in normal conversation.
It's not always about using a quieter, softer voice. Sometimes it is more appropriate to speak up and be heard. In part 4, we visit an ISP meeting and see what happens when we don't speak up and how things change when we do.
Anyone is more successful in their work when they care about their work, care about the company, care about the people there. But it's different when your job is caring about the quality of life, the personal growth, and the well-being of people who are especially vulnerable, isn't it? I will go so far as to say that if we don't care about the individual people we support, we won't accomplish the goals we set for ourselves as well as caring professionals. What does it take to be a caring professional? What does that look like, sound like? And most importantly, what does that feel like? What does it feel like from both sides?
Is that Barb?
It's me. I'm okay.
Our
Well, I'm
voices
glad to know
communicate
this, Barb.
our emotional
you
state.
wanna rest up,
We know
get
we
up and ready
care,
about 45
but do we
minutes
sound
time.
like it?
Hey there, Lee. Last day before the weekend. You gonna be partying it up this weekend, huh?
In Module 5, we make a couple of stops to see
yeah.
how
Don't try to
effectively
kid
we
a
are
kidder, my
communicating our
man.
caring through our voices.
Now you're ready to take everything you've learned so far and add an additional element to your professional voice that will help you accomplish your goals when you're working with people. The voice of influence.
Ellen, I am so concerned about this reunion. It'll be the first time that Louis is there without me. It's
Module
really
6
important.
brings it all together with some advanced skills as we explore how our voice helps or hurts us in difficult conversations. In Part 6, we look in as a parent is making arrangements for her son to attend a family reunion. It's complicated.
I know you will, dear.
We then visit a home on a busy evening. It's dinner time. A couple of the men are sick. A parent calls with some concerns for her son who has diabetes. How does Wes do? He cares. He learns. He does well.
Well, thank you for your help, Wes. And I'll look forward to hearing from Heather and the nurse.
We'll do everything we can to make sure Scott stays as healthy as he is happy. All right. Bye-bye, Sylvia.
Thanks, Wes. Good night.
When you're talking with someone outside of the organization you work for, you are the organization to them in that moment. The voice of influence allows you to help them feel confident about you, about your team, and about the organization as a whole. When you're coming from the voice of influence, your goal is to inspire trust not only in yourself, but in the people you work with and the organization you work for. That's the voice of influence.
And there you have it. From intention to influence, the power of voice.